looking at, getting an update on the model, seeing the loss curves. So all that, I think the cultural part of getting the teams together back with that energy, I think ended up playing a big role too.
What about the decision to recently add AI mode? So Google search is as they say, the front page of the internet. It's like a legendary minimalist thing with 10 blue links. Like when people think internet, they think that page. And now you're starting to mess with that. So the AI mode, which is a separate tab, and then integrating AI in the results. I'm sure there were some battles in meetings on that one.
Look, in some ways, when mobile came, people wanted answers to more questions. So we're kind of constantly evolving it. But you're right. This moment, that evolution, because the underlying technology is becoming much more capable. You know, you can have AI give a lot of context. But one of our important design goals, though, is when you come to Google search, you're going to get a lot of context, but you're going to go and find a lot of things out on the web. So that will be true in AI mode, in AI overviews, and so on. But I think to our earlier conversation, we are still giving you access to links, but think of the AI as a layer which is giving you context, summary. Maybe in AI mode, you can have a dialogue with it back and forth
Mhm.
on your journey, right? And but through it all, you're kind of learning what's out there in the world. So those core principles don't change. But I think AI mode allows us to push we have our best models there, right? Models which are using search as a deep tool, really for every query you're asking, kind of fanning out, doing multiple searches, like kind of assembling that knowledge in a way so you can go and consume what you want to, right? And that's how we think about it.
I got a chance to listen to a bunch of Elizabeth Liz Reed
Yeah.
describe this. Two things stood out to me that she mentioned. One thing is what you were talking about is the query fan out, which I didn't even think about before. Uh, is the powerful aspect of integrating a bunch of stuff on the web for you in one place. So yes, it provides that context so that you can decide which page to then go on to. The other really, really big thing speaks to the earlier in terms of productivity multiplier that we're talking about that she mentioned was language. So one of the things you don't quite understand is it through AI mode, you make for non-English speakers, you make sort of, let's say, English language websites accessible by in the reasoning process as you try to figure out what you're looking for. Of course, once you show up to a page, you can use a basic translate,
Yeah.
but that process of figuring it out, if you empathize with a large part of the world that doesn't speak English, their like web is much smaller in that original language. And so it unlocks that huge cognitive capacity there that we don't, you take for granted here with all the bloggers and the journalists writing about AI mode. You forget that this now unlocks, um, because Gemini is really good at translation.
No, it is. I mean, the multimodality, the translation, its ability to reason, we are dramatically improving tool use. So putting that power in the flow of search, I think, look, I'm super excited with AI overviews. We've we've seen the product has gotten much better. We measure it using all kinds of user metrics. It's obviously driven strong growth of the product. And we've been testing AI mode. It's now in the hands of millions of people, and the early metrics are very encouraging. So, look, I'm excited about this next chapter of search.
For people who are not thinking through or aware of this. So there's the 10 blue links with the AI overview on top that provides a nice summarization. You can expand it.
And you have sources and links
Links.
now
Yep.
embedded. Yeah.
I believe, at least Liz said so. I actually didn't notice it, but there's ads in the AI overview also. I don't think there's ads in AI mode. When ads in AI mode. So no. When do you think? I mean, it's okay. We should say that in the 90s, I remember the animated GIFs, banner GIFs that take you to some shady websites that have nothing to do with anything. AdSense revolutionized
Mhm.
advertisement. It's one of the greatest inventions um, in recent history because it allows us for free to have access to all these kinds of services. So ads fuel a lot of really powerful services. And at its best, it's showing you relevant ads, but also very importantly, in a way that's not super annoying,
Mhm.
right? In a classy way. So, uh, when do you think it's possible to add ads into AI mode? And what does that look like from a classy, non annoying perspective?
Two things. Early part of AI mode will obviously focus more on the organic experience to make sure we are getting it right. I think the fundamental value of ads are it enables access to deploy the services to billions of people. The second is ads are the reason we've always taken ads seriously is we view ads as commercial information, but it's still information. And so we bring the same quality metrics to it. I think with AI mode, to our earlier conversation about, I think AI itself will help us over time figure out, the best way to do it. I think given we are giving context around everything, I think it'll give us more opportunities to also explain, okay, here's some commercial information. Like today, as a podcaster, you do it at certain spots and you probably figure out what's best in your podcast. Um, I think so. There are aspects of that, but I think the underlying need of people value commercial information. Businesses are trying to connect to users. All that doesn't change in an AI moment. But look, we will rethink it. You've seen us in YouTube now do a mixture of subscription and ads. Like obviously, we are now introducing subscription offerings across everything. And so as part of that, we can optimize the optimization point will end up being a different place as well.
Do you see a trajectory in the possible future where AI mode completely replaces the 10 blue links plus AI overview?
Our current plan is AI mode is going to be there as a separate tab for people who really want to experience that. But it's not yet at the level where our main search page is. But as features work, we'll keep migrating it to the main page. And so you can view it as a continuum. AI mode will offer you the bleeding edge experience, but it'll things that work will keep overflowing to AI overviews in the main experience.
And the idea that AI mode would still take you to the web, to the human created web.
Yes, that's going to be a core design principle for us.
So really, if users decide, right, they drive this.
Yeah.
It's just exciting, a little bit scary that it might change the internet because Google has been dominating with a very specific look and idea of what it means to have the internet. And to as you move to AI mode, I mean, it's just a different experience. I think Liz was talking about. I think you've mentioned that you ask more questions, you ask longer questions.
Dramatically different types of questions.
Yeah, like, it actually fuels curiosity. Like, I think for me, I've been asking just a much larger number of questions of this black box machine, let's say,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And with AI overview, it's interesting, like, because I still value the human. I still ultimately wanna end up, on the human created web, but like you said, the context really helps.
It helps us deliver higher quality referrals, right? Where people are like, they have much higher likelihood of finding what they're looking for. They're exploring, they're curious, their intent is getting satisfied more. So that's what all our metrics show.
It makes the humans that create the web nervous. The journalists are getting nervous. They've already been nervous. Like we mentioned, CNN is nervous because of podcasts. Um, it makes people nervous.
Look, I think news and journalism will play an important role, you know, in the future. We're pretty committed to it, right? And so I think making sure that ecosystem, in fact, I think we'll be able to differentiate ourselves as a company over time because of our commitment there. So it's something I think I definitely value a lot, and as we are designing, we'll continue prioritizing approaches.
I'm sure for the people who want, they can have a fine-tuned AI model that's clickbait hit pieces that will replace current journalism. That's a shot at journalism. Forgive me. But I find that if you're looking for really strong criticism of things, that Gemini is very good at providing that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's better than anything the for now. I mean, people are concerned that there would be bias that's introduced that as the AI systems become more and more powerful, there's incentive from sponsors to roll in and try to control the output of the AI models. But for now, the objective criticism that's provided is way better than journalism. Of course, the argument is the journalists are still valuable, but then I don't know, the crowdsourced journalism that we get on the open internet is also very, very powerful.
I feel like they're all super important things. I think it's good that you get a lot of crowdsourced information coming in, but I feel like there is real value for high quality journalism, right? And I think these are all complementary. I think like I view it as I find myself constantly seeking out also like try to find objective reporting on things too. And sometimes you get more context from the crowdfunded sources you read online. But I think both end up playing a super important role.
So there's you've spoken a little about this. Demis talked about this is sort of the slice of the web that will increasingly become about providing information for agents. So we can think about as like two layers of the web. One is for humans, one is for agents. Do you see the AI agents? Do you see the one that's for AI agents growing over time? Do you see there still being long term, 5, 10 years value for the human created for the purpose of human consumption web, or will it all be agents in the end?
And today, like not everyone does, but you go to you go to a big retail store, you love walking the aisle, you love shopping, or grocery store, picking out food, etc. But you're also online shopping and they're delivering, right? So both are complementary, and like that's true for restaurants, etc. So I do feel like over time, websites will also get better for humans. They will be better designed. AI might actually design them better for humans. So I expect the web to get a lot richer and more interesting and better to use. At the same time, I think there'll be an agentic web, which is also making a lot of progress. And you have to solve the business value and the incentives to make that work well, right? Like for people to participate in it. But I think both will coexist. And obviously, the agents may not need the same, I mean, not may not, they won't need the same design and the UI paradigms which humans need to interact with. But I think both will be there.
I have to ask you about Chrome. I have to say, for me personally, Google Chrome is probably, I don't know, I'd like to see where I would rank it. But in this temptation, and this is not a recency bias, although it might be a little bit, but I think it's up there, top three, maybe the number one piece of software for me of all time. So it's incredible. It's really incredible. The browsers are a window to the web, and Chrome really continued for many years, but even initially to push the innovation on that front when it was stale, and it continues to challenge. It continues to make it more performant, so efficient, just innovate constantly. And the Chromium aspect of it. Anyway, you were one of the pioneers of Chrome, pushing for it when it was an insane idea. Probably one of the ideas that was criticized and doubted, and so on. So, can you tell me the story of what it took to push for Chrome? What was your vision?
Look, it was such a dynamic time, around 2004, 2005, with Ajax, the web suddenly becoming dynamic in a matter of few months. Flickr, Gmail, Google Maps all kind of came into existence, right? Like the fact that you have an interactive, dynamic web. The web was evolving from simple text pages, simple HTML to rich dynamic applications. But at the same time, you could see the browser was never meant for that world, right? Like JavaScript execution was super slow. Uh, you know, the browser was far away from being an operating system for that rich modern web, which was coming into place. So that's the opportunity we saw. Like, it's an amazing early team. I still remember the day we got a shell on WebKit running and how fast it was. Uh, we had the clear vision for building a browser. Like we wanted to bring core OS principles into the browser, right? Like, so we built a secure browser, sandboxed. Each tab was its own. These things are common now, but at the time, like it was pretty unique. Uh, we found an amazing team in Aarhus, Denmark, with a leader who built a V8, the JavaScript VM,
Mhm.
which at the time was 25 times faster than any other JavaScript VM out there. And by the way, you're right. We open sourced it all, and put it in Chromium too. But we really thought the web could work much better, much faster, and you could be much safer browsing the web. And the name Chrome came was because we literally felt people were like the Chrome of the browser was getting clunkier. We wanted to minimize it. And so that was the origins of the project. Definitely, obviously, highly biased person here talking about Chrome. But it's the most fun I've had building a product from the ground up, and it was an extraordinary team. Had my co-founders in the project were terrific, so definite fond memories.
So for people who don't know, Sundar, I mean, it is probably fair to say you're the reason we have Chrome. Yes, I know there's a lot of incredible engineers, but pushing for it inside a company that probably was opposing it because it's a crazy idea. Because as everybody probably knows, it's incredibly difficult to build a browser.
Look, Eric, who was the CEO at the time, I think it was less that he was opposed to it. He kind of firsthand knew what a crazy thing it is to go build a browser, and so he definitely was like, "This is," there was a crazy aspect to actually wanting to go build a browser, but um, he was very supportive. Everyone, all the founders were. I think once we started, you know, building something and we could use it and see how much better from then on, like, you're really tinkering with the product and making it better. It came to life pretty fast.
What wisdom do you draw from that? From pushing through on a crazy idea in the early days that ends up being revolutionary? What for future crazy ideas like it?
I mean, this is something Larry and Sergey have articulated clearly. I really internalized this early on, which is, their whole feeling around working on moonshots, like as a way, when you work on something very ambitious, first of all, it attracts the best people, right? So that's an advantage you get. Number two, because it's so ambitious, you don't have others working on something crazy. So you pretty much have the path to yourselves,
Mhm.
right? It's like Waymo and self driving. Number three, it is even if you end up quite not accomplishing what you set out to do, and you end up doing 60, 80% of it, it'll end up being a terrific success. So, that's the advice I would give people, right? I think, like, it's just aiming for big ideas has all these advantages, and it's risky, but it also has all these advantages which people I don't think fully internalize.
I mean, you mentioned one of the craziest, biggest moonshots, which is Waymo. It's one when I first saw over a decade ago a Waymo vehicle, a Google self-driving car vehicle. It was for me. It was an aha moment for robotics. It made me fall in love with robotics even more than before. It gave me a glimpse into the future, so it's incredible. I'm truly grateful for that project for what it symbolizes. But it's also a crazy moonshot. It's for a long time. Waymo has been just like you mentioned with scuba diving. Just not listening to anybody, just calmly improving the system better and better, more testing, just expanding the operational domain more and more. First of all, congrats on 10 million paid robotaxi rides. What lessons do you take from Waymo about like the perseverance, the persistence on that project?
I look really proud of the progress we have had with Waymo. One of the things I think we were very committed to, the final 20% can look like, I mean, we
Paid
always say,
robotaxi
right, the
rides.
first 80% is easy, the final 20% takes 80% of the time. I think we definitely were were working through that phase with Waymo, but I was aware of that. So, but we knew we were at that stage. We knew we were the technology gap between, while there were many people, many other self-driving companies, we knew the technology gap was there. In fact, right at the moment when others were doubting Waymo is when I don't know, I made the decision to invest more in Waymo, right? Because so in some ways it's counterintuitive, but I think look, we've always been a deep technology company, and like uh, Waymo is a version of kind of building a AI robot that works well, and so we get attracted to problems like that. The caliber of the teams there, phenomenal teams. And so I know you follow the space super closely. I'm talking to someone who knows the space well, but it was very obvious it's going to get there. And, there's still more work to do. But it's a good example where we always prioritized being ambitious and safety at the same time,
Mhm.
right? And equally committed to both and pushed hard and, couldn't be more thrilled with how it's working, how much people love the experience. And this year is definitely we've scaled up a lot, and we'll continue scaling up in 26.
That said, the competition is heating up. You've been friendly with Elon, even though technically he's a competitor, but you've been friendly with a lot of tech CEOs in that way, just showing respect towards them and so on. What do you think about the robotaxi efforts that Tesla is doing? Do you see it as competition? What do you think? Do you like the competition?
We are one of the earliest and biggest backers of SpaceX as Google, right? So thrilled with what SpaceX is doing, and fortunate to be investors as a company there, right? And look, we don't compete with Tesla directly. We are not making cars, etc. Right? We are building L4-5 autonomy. We're building a Waymo driver, which is general purpose and can be used in many settings. They're obviously working on making Tesla self-driving too. I've just assumed it's a de facto that Elon would succeed in whatever he does. So, like, that is not something I question. So, but I think we are so far from these spaces are such vast spaces. Like, I think about transportation, the opportunity space. The Waymo driver is a general purpose technology we can apply in many situations. So you have a vast green space. Uh, in all future scenarios, I see Tesla doing well and, Waymo doing well.
Like we mentioned with the Neolithic package, I think it's very possible that in the quote unquote AI package, when the history is written, autonomous vehicles, self driving cars is like the big thing that changes everything. Imagine over a period of a decade or two, just the complete transition from manually driven to autonomous in ways we might not predict. It might change the way we move about the world completely. So that, the possibility of that, and then the second and third order effects, as you're seeing now with Tesla, very possibly you would see some um, internally with Alphabet, maybe Waymo, maybe some of the Gemini robotics stuff. It might lead you into the other domains of robotics. Because we should remember that Waymo is a robot.
Mhm.
It just happens to be on four wheels. So you said that the next big thing, we can also throw that into AI package. The big aha moment might be in the space of robotics. What do you think that would look like?
Demis and the Google DeepMind team is very focused on Gemini robotics, right? So
Yeah.
we are definitely building the underlying models well. So we have a lot of investments there. And I think we are also pretty cutting edge in our research there. So we are definitely driving that direction. We obviously are thinking about applications in robotics. We'll kind of work seriously. We are partnering with a few companies today, but it's an area I would say stay tuned. We are yet to fully articulate our plans outside, but it's an area we are definitely committed to driving a lot of progress. But I think AI ends up driving that massive progress in
Mm.
robotics. The field has been held back for a while. I mean, the hardware has made extraordinary progress, The software had been the challenge, but with AI now and the generalized models we are building, we are building these models, getting them to work in the real world in a safe way, in a generalized way, is the frontier we're pushing pretty hard on.
Well, it's really nice to see the models and the different teams integrated to where all of them are pushing towards one world model that's being built. So from all these different angles, multimodal, you're ultimately trying to get Gemini. So the same thing that would make AI mode really effective in answering your questions, which requires a kind of world model, is the same kind of thing that would help a robot be useful in the physical world. So everything is aligned.
That is what makes this moment so unique, because running a company, for the first time, you can do one investment in a very deep horizontal way. On top of it, you can like drive multiple businesses forward, right? And that's effectively what we are doing in Google and Alphabet, right?
Yeah, it's all coming together like it was planned ahead of time, but it's not, of course. It's all distributed. I mean, if Gmail and Sheets and all these other incredible services, I can sing Gmail praises for years. I mean, just revolutionized email. But the moment you start to integrate AI, Gemini into Gmail, I mean, that's the other thing. Speaking of productivity multiplier, people complain about email, but that changed everything. Email, like the invention of email, changed everything. And it's been ripe. There's been a few folks trying to revolutionize email, some of them on top of Gmail, but that's like ripe for innovation, not just spam filtering, but you demoed a really nice demo of uh,
Personalized responses, right?
personalized responses. And at first I was like, at first I felt really bad about that. But then I realized that there's nothing wrong to feel bad about because the example you gave is when a friend asks, you went to whatever hiking location, do you have any advice? And they just search us through all your information to give them good advice. And then you put the cherry on top, maybe some love or whatever, camaraderie. But the informational aspect, the knowledge transfer does for you.
I think there'll be important moments. Like it should be like today. If you write a card in your own handwriting and send it to someone, that's a special thing. Similarly, there'll be a time, I mean, to your friends, maybe your friend wrote and said he's not doing well or something. Those are moments you want to save your times
Hmm.
for writing something, reaching out, but, you know, like saying, give me all the details of the trip you took, to me makes a lot of sense for a AI assistant to help you, right? And so I think both are important, but I think I'm excited about that direction.
Yeah, I think ultimately it gives more time for us humans to do the things we humans find meaningful. And I think it scares a lot of people because we're going to have to ask ourselves the hard question of like, what do we find meaningful? And I'm sure there's answers. I mean, it's the old question of the meaning of existence. Is you have to try to figure that out. That might be ultimately parenting or being creative in some domains of art or writing, and it challenges to like it's a good question of to ask yourself like in my life, what is the thing that brings me most joy and fulfillment? And if I'm able to actually focus more time on that, that's really powerful.
I think that's the holy grail. If you get this right, I think it allows more people to find that.
I have to ask you on the programming front, AI is getting really good at programming. Gemini, both the agentic and just the LLM, has been incredible. So a lot of programmers are really worried that they will lose their jobs. How worried should they be? And how should they adjust so they can be thriving in this new world where more and more code is written by AI?
I think a few things. Looking at Google, um, we've given various stats around like 30% of code now uses like AI generated suggestions or whatever it is. But the most important metric, and we carefully measure it, is like how much has our engineering velocity increased as a company due to AI, right? And it's like tough to measure, and we kind of rigorously try to measure it. And our estimates are at that number is now at 10%, right? Like now across the company, we've accomplished a 10% engineering velocity increase using AI. But we plan to hire engineers, more engineers next year, right? So because the opportunity space of what we can do is expanding too, right?
Mhm,
And so I think hopefully, for at least in the near to midterm, for many engineers, it frees up more and more of the, uh, you know, even in engineering and coding, there are aspects which are so much fun. You're designing, you're architecting, you're solving a problem. There's a lot of grunt work, which all goes hand in hand. But it hopefully takes a lot of that away, makes it even more fun to code, frees you up more time to create, problem solve, brainstorm with your fellow colleagues, and so on. Right. So that's the opportunity there. And second, I think it'll put the creative power in more people's hands, which means people will create more. That means there'll be more engineers doing more things. So it's tough to fully predict, but I think in general in this moment, it feels like people adopt these tools and be better programmers. Like there are more people playing chess now than ever before, right? So it feels positive that way to me, at least speaking from within a Google context. Is how I would talk to them about it.
I just know anecdotally a lot of great programmers are generating a lot of code.
Yeah.
So their productivity, they're not always using all the code, just, there's still a lot of editing. But like, even for me, I'm still programming as a side thing. I think I'm like 5x more productive. I think that's even for a large code base that's touching a lot of users like Google's does. I'm imagining like very soon that productivity should be going up even
No,
more.
the big unlock will be as we make the agentic capabilities much more
Mhm.
robust, right? I think that's what unlocks that next big wave. I think the 10% is like a massive number. Like, if tomorrow, like I showed up and said, like,
Yeah.
you can improve like a large organization's productivity by 10% when you have tens of thousands of engineers, that's a phenomenal number. And that's different than what others cite as statistics saying like like this percentage of code is now written by AI. I'm talking more about like overall
Actual
our
productivity.
actual productivity, right? Engineering productivity, which is two different things, and which is the more important metric. And but I think it'll get better, right? And I think there's no engineer who tomorrow, if you magically became 2x more productive, you're just going to create more things. You're going to create more value-added things, and so I think you'll find more satisfaction in your job, right? So
And there's a lot of aspects. I mean, the actual Google code base might just improve because it'll become more standardized, more easier for people to move about the code base because AI will help with that. And therefore, that will also allow the AI to understand the entire code base better, which makes the engineering aspect. That's what I've been using Cursor a lot
yeah,
as a way to program with Gemini and other models. Is like it one of its powerful things is it's aware of the entire code base, and that allows you to ask questions of it. It allows the agents to move about that code base in a really powerful way. I mean, that's a huge unlock.
think about like migrations, refactoring old code bases.
Refactoring, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about like once we can do all this in a much better, more robust way than where we are today.
I think in the end, everything will be written in JavaScript and run in Chrome. I think it's all going to that direction. I mean, just for fun, Google has legendary coding interviews, uh, like rigorous interviews for the engineers. How can you comment on how that has changed in the era of AI? It's just such a weird, the whiteboard interview. I assume is not allowed to have some prompts.
Such a good question. Look, I do think we're making sure we'll introduce at least one round of in-person interviews for people
Yeah.
just to make sure the fundamentals are there. I think they'll end up being important. But it's an equally important skill. Look, if you can use these tools to generate better code, I think that's an asset. And so, uh, I think so. Overall, I think it's a massive positive.
Vibe coding engineer. Do you recommend people, students interested in programming still get an education in computer science, in college education? What do you think?
I do. If you have a passion for computer science, I would. Computer science is obviously a lot more than programming alone. So I would. I still don't think I would change what you pursue. I think AI will horizontally allow impact every field. It's pretty tough to predict in what ways. So any education in which you're learning good first principles thinking, I think is good education.
You've revolutionized web browsing. You've revolutionized a lot of things over the years. Android changed the game. It's an incredible operating system. We could talk for hours about Android. What does the future of Android look like? Is it possible it becomes more and more AI centric, especially now that you throw into the mix Android XR with being able to do augmented reality and mixed reality and virtual reality in the physical world?
The best innovations in computing have come when you're through a paradigm IO change, right? Like, when with GUI and then with a graphical user interface and then with multi-touch in the context of mobile voice later on. Similarly, I feel like, AR is that next paradigm. I think it was held back both the system integration challenges of making good AR is very, very hard. The second thing is you need AI to actually kind of, otherwise the IO is too complicated. For you to have a natural, seamless IO to that paradigm, AI ends up being super important. And so this is why Project Astra ends up being super critical for that Android XR world. But it is, I think, when you use glasses and always been amazed like at the how useful these things are going to be. So I think it's a real opportunity for Android. I think XR is one way it'll kind of really come to life. But I think there's an opportunity to rethink the mobile OS too, right? I think we've been kind of living in this paradigm of like apps and shortcuts, all that won't go away. But again, like if you're trying to get stuff done at an operating system level, it needs to be more agentic so that you can kind of describe what you want to do, or like it proactively understands what you're trying to do, learns from how you're doing things over and over again, and kind of is adapting to you. All that is kind of like the unlock we need to go and do.
With a basic, efficient, minimalist UI. I've gotten a chance to try the glasses and they're incredible. It's the little stuff. It's hard to put into words, but no latency. It just works. Even that little map demo where you look down and you look up, and there's a very smooth transition between the two, and small amount of useful information is shown to you. Enough not to distract from the world outside, but enough to provide a bit of context when you need it. And some of that, bec in order to bring that into reality, you have to solve a lot of the OS problems to make sure it works when you're integrating the AI into the whole thing. So everything you do launches an agent that answers some basic question
It's a
for
good
you.
moonshot. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's
And
crazy.
no, but I think we are, but it's much closer to reality than other moonshots. We expect to have glasses in the hands of developers later this year, and in consumer science next year. So it's an exciting time.
Yeah, well, extremely well executed. Beam, all the stuff, because I sometimes you don't know. Like somebody commented on a top comment on one of the demos of Beam. They said, "This will either be killed off in 5 weeks or revolutionize all meetings in 5 years." And there's very much Google tries so many things and sometimes sadly kills off very promising projects, but because there's so many other things to focus on. I use so many Google products. Google Voice I still use. I'm so glad that's not being killed off. That's still alive. Thank you, whoever is defending that, because it's awesome. And it's great they keep innovating. I just want to list off just as a big thank you. So search, obviously Google revolutionized Chrome, and all of these could be multi-hour conversations. Gmail, I've been singing Gmail praises forever. Maps, incredible technological innovation on revolutionizing mapping. Android, like we talked about, YouTube, like we talked about, AdSense, Google Translate for the academic mind, and Google Scholar is incredible when with the book and also the scanning of the books. So making all the world's knowledge accessible, even when that knowledge is a kind of niche thing, which Google Scholar is. And then obviously with DeepMind, with Alpha Zero, Alpha Fold, Alpha Evolve, I could talk forever about Alpha Evolve. That's mind blowing. All of that released, and as part of that set of things you released in this year, when those brilliant articles were written about Google is done. Uh, and like we talked about, pioneering self driving cars and quantum computing, which could be another thing that is low key, is scuba diving. Its way to changing the world forever. So another pothead slash micro kitchen question: if you build AGI, what kind of question would you ask it? What would you want to talk about? Definitively, Google has created AGI that can basically answer any question. What topic are you going to? What where's it where are you going?
It's a great question. Maybe it's proactive by then and should tell me a few things I should know. But I think if I were to ask it, I think it'll help us understand ourselves much better, um, in a way that'll surprise us, I think. Um, and so maybe that's you already see people do it with the products. And so, but in a AGI context, I think that'll be pretty powerful.
On a personal level or general human nature?
At a personal level, like
Okay,
you
so
talking to
oh wow,
AGI,
yeah.
I think there is some chance it'll kind of understand you in a very deep way. I think in a profound way. That's a possibility. I think there is also the obvious thing of like maybe it helps us understand the universe better. In a way that expands the frontiers of our understanding of the world. That is something super exciting. But look, I really don't know. I think
I
haven't had access to something that powerful yet. But I think those are all possibilities.
I think that on the personal level, asking questions about yourself could a sequence of questions like that about what makes me happy. I think we would be very surprised to learn through those kind of a sequence of questions and answers. We might explore some profound truths in the way that sometimes art reveals to us, great books reveal to us, great conversations with loved ones reveal things that are obvious in retrospect, but are nice when they're said. But for me, number one question is about how many alien civilizations are there? 100%. Are they how
That's going
many?
to be a first question.
Number one, how many living and dead alien civilizations? Maybe a bunch of follow ups like how close are they? Are they dangerous? If there's no alien civilizations, why? Or if there's no advanced alien civilizations but bacteria like life everywhere, why? What is the barrier preventing it from getting to that? Is it because that there's when you get sufficiently intelligent, you end up destroying ourselves because you need competition in order to develop an advanced civilization. And when you have competition, it's going to lead to military conflict, and conflict eventually kills everybody. I don't know. I'm going to have
You
that
get
kind of
get an
discussion.
answer to the Fermi paradox. Yeah.
Exactly, and, like, have a real discussion about it. I'm not sure it's I'm realizing now with your answer is a more productive, answer because 'cause I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that information, but maybe it speaks to the general human curiosity that Liz talked about, that we're all just really curious, and making the world's information accessible allows our curiosity to be satiated some. With AI, even more. We can be more and more curious and learn more about the world, about ourselves. And in so doing, I always wonder if I don't know if you can comment on like, is it possible to measure the not the GDP productivity increase like we talked about, but maybe whatever that increases, the breadth and depth of human knowledge that Google has unlocked with Google search and now with AI mode with Gemini is a difficult thing to measure.
Many years ago, there was I think it was a MIT study. They just estimated the impact of Google search, and they basically said it's the equivalent to, on a per person basis, it's few thousands of dollars per year per person, right? Like is the value that got created per year, right? And but it's, yeah, it's tough to capture these things, right? Like you kind of take it for granted as these things come, and the frontier keeps moving. But uh, how do you measure the value of something like AlphaFold over time, right? And so on. So it's
And also the increasing quality of life when you learn more. I have to say, like, with, some of the programming I do done by AI, for some reason, I'm more excited to program.
yeah,
And so the same with knowledge, with discovering things about the world. It makes you more excited to be alive. It makes you more curious and it keeps the more curious you are, the more exciting it is to live and experience the world. And it's very hard to, I don't know if that makes you more productive. It probably not nearly as much as it makes you happy to be alive. And that's a hard thing to measure. The quality of life increases, some of these things do. As AI continues to get better and better at everything that humans do, what do you think is the biggest thing that makes us humans special?
look, I think it's tough to I mean, the essence of humanity. There's something about you know the consciousness we have, what makes us uniquely human. Maybe the lines will blur over time, and it's tough to articulate. But I hopefully, we live in a world where if you make resources more plentiful and make the world lesser of a zero sum game over time, right? And which it's not, but in a resource constrained environment, people perceive it to be, right. And and so I hope the values of what makes us uniquely human, empathy, kindness, all that surfaces more, is the aspirational hope I have.
Yeah, it multiplies the compassion, but also the curiosity. Just the banter, the debates we'll have about the meaning of it all, and I also think in the scientific domains, all the incredible work that DeepMind is doing, I think we'll still continue to play, to explore scientific questions, mathematical questions, physics questions, even as gets better and better at helping us solve some of the questions. Sometimes the question itself is a really difficult thing.
Both the right new questions to ask and the answers to them, and the self discovery process which it'll drive. I think our early work with both co-scientists and Alpha Evolve just super exciting to see.
What gives you hope about the future of human civilization?
Look, I'm an optimist, and I look at, um, if you were to say you take the journey of human civilization, it's been, we've relentlessly made the world better, right, in many ways. At any given moment in time, there are big issues to work through. It may look, but I always ask myself the question: would you have been born now or any other time in the past? I most often, not most often, almost always would rather be born now, right? And so that's the extraordinary thing the human civilization has accomplished, right? And and we've kind of constantly made the world a better place. And so something tells me, as humanity, we always rise collectively to drive that frontier forward. So I expect it to be no different in the future.
I agree with you totally. I'm truly grateful to be alive in this moment, and I'm also really excited for the future. And the work you and the incredible teams here are doing is one of the big reasons I'm excited for the future. So thank you. Thank you for all the cool products you've built. And please don't kill Google Voice. Thank you,
we,
Sundar.
we won't. Yeah.
Thank you for talking today. This was incredible. Thank you.
Real pleasure. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this conversation with Sundar Pichai. To support this podcast, please check out our sponsors in the description or at lexfriedman.com/sponsors. Shortly before this conversation, I got a chance to get a couple of demos that frankly blew my mind. The engineering was really impressive. The first demo was Google Beam, and the second demo was the XR glasses, and some of it was caught on video. So I thought I would include here some of those video clips.
Hey Lex, my
Hey,
name's
how you doing?
Andrew. I lead the Google Beam team, and we're going to be excited to show you a demo. We're going to show you, I think, a glimpse of something new. So that's the idea, a way to connect, a way to feel present from anywhere with anybody you care about. Here's Google Beam. This is a development platform that we've built. So there's a prototype here of Google Beam. There's one right down the hallway. I'm going to go down and turn that on in a second. We're going to experience it together. We'll be back in the same room.
Wonderful. Whoa. Okay.
Here we are. All
Okay.
right.
This is real already. Wow.
This is real. Good to see you.
Wow.
This is Google Beam.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to make it feel like you and I could be anywhere in the world, but when these magic windows open, we're back together. I see you exactly the same way you see me. It's almost like we're sitting at the table, sharing a table together. I could
Yeah.
learn from you, talk to you, share a meal with you, get to know you.
So you can feel the
or just
depth of
shake your
this.
hand. Yeah, great to meet you.
Wow. Wow. So for people who probably can't even imagine what this looks like, there's a 3D version. It looks real. You look
Yeah,
real.
it looks to me, it looks real to you.
It looks like you're
And
coming out of the screen.
we quickly believe, once we're in Beam, that we're just together. Like
Yeah.
you settle into
Yep.
it, you're naturally attuned to seeing the world like this, and you just get used to seeing people this way. But literally from anywhere in the world with these magic screens.
This is
So
incredible.
it's a neat technology.
Wow. So I saw demos of this, but they don't come close to the experience of this. Yeah, I think one of the top YouTube comments on one of the demos I saw was like, why would I want a high definition? Like, I'm trying to turn off the camera, but this
Yeah.
actually is, this feels like the camera has been turned off and we're just in the same room together. This is really compelling.
That's right. I know it's kind of late in the day too, so I brought you a snack just in case you're a little bit hungry. But
So can you push it farther and it just becomes,
yeah,
wow.
let's try to float it between rooms. You know, it kind of fades it from my room into yours.
And then you see my hand, the depth of my
Of
hand.
course, yeah.
Wow.
Of course, yeah. It feels like you try this. Try give me a high five, and there's almost a sensation of human touch. Like,
Yeah.
You almost feel
Yes.
because you're so attuned to that should be a high five. Feeling like you could connect with somebody
Yeah.
that way. So it's kind of a magical experience.
Oh, this is really nice. How much does it
Yeah, I
cost?
think with you, we've got a lot of companies testing it. We just announced that we're going to be bringing it to offices soon as a set of products. We've got some companies helping us build these screens. But eventually, I think this will be in almost every screen.
There's nothing, I'm not wearing anything. Well, I'm wearing a suit and
I
tie,
don't think so.
to clarify. I am wearing clothes. This is not CGI. But outside of that, cool. And the audio is really good. And you can see me in the same three-dimensional way.
Yeah, the
Okay.
audio is spatialized. So if I'm talking from here, of course it sounds like I'm talking from here. You know, if I move to the other side of the room, I'm here. So these little subtle cues, these really matter to bring people together. All the nonverbals, all the emotion, the things that are lost today, here it is. We put it back into the system.
You pulled
It
this
just
off.
feels like-
Holy shit, they pulled it off. And integrated into this, I saw the translation also. Right, this is the...
Yeah, we've got a bunch of things. Let me show you a couple kind of cool things. Let's do a little bit of work together. Maybe we could critique one of your latest. So, you know, it's you and I work together. So, of course, we're in the same room, but with this superpower, I can bring other
Look at
things
that.
in here with me. And it's nice. It's like we could sit together, we could watch something, we could work. We've shared meals as a team together in this system, but once you do the presence aspect of this, you want to
Wow.
bring some other superpowers to it.
And so you could review code together.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some slides I'm working on. Maybe you could help me with this. Keep your eyes on me for a second. I'll slide back into the center. I didn't really move, but the system just kind of puts us in the right spot and knows where we need to
Oh,
be.
so you just turn to your laptop, the system moves you, and then it does the overlay automatically.
It kind of morphs the room to put things
Yeah.
in the spot that they need to be in. Everything has a place in the room. Everything has a sense of presence or spatial consistency, and that kind of makes it feel like we're together with us and other things.
I should also say, you're not just three-dimensional. It feels like you're leaning like out of the screen. You're like coming out of the screen. You're not just in that world three-dimensional. Yeah, exactly. Holy crap. Move
right.
back to center.
So-
Okay.
Let me tell you how this works. You probably already have the premise of it, but there's two things,
Yeah.
two really hard things that we put together. One is a AI video model. So there's a set of cameras. You asked kind of about those earlier. There's 6 color cameras, just like webcams that we have today, taking video streams and feeding them into our AI model and turning that into a 3D video of you and I. It's effectively a light field. So it's kind of an interactive 3D video that you can see from any perspective. That's transmitted over to the second thing, and that's a light field display. And it's happening bidirectionally. I see you and you see me both in our light field displays. These are effectively flat televisions or flat displays, but they have the sense of dimensionality, depth, size is correct. You can see shadows and lighting are correct, and everything's correct from your vantage point. So if you move around ever so slightly and I hold still, you see a different perspective here. You see kind of things that were occluded become revealed. You see shadows that move in the way they should move. All of that's computed and generated using our AI video model for you. It's based on your eye position. Where does the right scene need to be placed in this light field display for you just to feel present?
It's real time, no latency. I'm not seeing you weren't freezing up at all.
No, I hope not. I think it's you and I together, real time. That's what you need for real communication, and at a quality level
This is
that I
awesome.
think is realistic.
Is it possible to do 3 people? Like, is that gonna move that way also?
Yeah, let me kind of show you. So if she enters the room with us,
Mm-hmm.
you can see her, you can see me. And if we had more people, you eventually lose the sense of presence. You kind of shrink people down, you lose the sense of scale. So think of it as the window fits a certain number of people. If you want to fit a big group of people, you want, the boardroom or the big room, you need like a much wider window. If you want to see, just grandma and the kids, you can do smaller windows. So everybody has a seat at the table, or everybody has a sense of where they belong, and there's kind of this sense of presence that's obeyed. If you have too many people, you kind of go back to like 2D metaphors that we're used to. People in tiles placed anywhere.
For the image I'm seeing, did you have to get scanned?
I mean, I see you without being scanned. So it's just so much easier if you don't have to wear anything. You don't have to pre-scan. You just do it the way it's supposed to happen without anybody having to learn anything or put anything on.
I thought you had to solve the scanning problem, but here you don't. It's just
No, that's
cameras.
right.
It's just vision.
That's right. It's video. Yeah, we're not trying to kind of make an approximation of you because everything you do every day matters. I cut myself shaving, I put on a pin, all the little kind of, aspects of you, those just happen. We don't have the time to scan or kind of capture those or dress avatars. We kind of appear as we appear. And so all that's transmitted truthfully as it's happening.
Hey,
Chris, still, how you doing?
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, as Max mentioned, we've got AI glasses here. We start with a foundation of great glasses, something stylish, lightweight, wearable. And we say, how can we build great technology and experiences on top of that? One of the core tenets of the Android XR platform, this idea of a multimodal conversational device, see what you see, hear what you hear. So we've got a camera, you've got speakers, multiple microphones for speaker isolation. I'll give you a chance to try these yourself. Yeah, sorry, I woke it up there.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the first thing you see is a super simple, straightforward home screen. So
Yes.
you probably see the time, the weather, calendar appointments there. This is designed to be sort of your one-stop shop for quick, glanceable information throughout the day. We want it to be something that's easy to get what you need and then go back to what you're doing. So you can imagine turning on the display, getting that quick glance, and then continuing on your way. You can be fully conversational at this point. You can ask questions, for example, about the paintings. You can interrupt. You can ask follow-up questions. And as I mentioned before, if you want to at any time pause, you just tap there on the right.
Gemini, how much does this painting cost?
The painting is called The Bridge of Louis Philippe, 1875, by Armand Guillaumet. It appears to be a print, and it would be impossible to know its cost without finding the seller.
Okay, so this is fake. I understand. Why do humans pay so much money for paintings?
People pay a lot for paintings because of their artistic merit, the artist's fame, its decent rarity, and for the appreciation they learn.
So a few more things that we want to show you just for sake of time. If you go ahead and long press on the side again to sleep Gemini there. There you go. Did you catch Google I/O last week by any chance?
Yes.
So you might have seen on stage the Google Maps experience very briefly. Wanted to give you a chance to get a sense of what that feels like today. You can imagine you're walking down the street. If you look up like you're walking straight ahead, you get quick turn-by-turn directions. So you have a sense of
Well
what the next
done.
turn is like.
Nice.
Keeping your phone in your pocket.
Oh, that's so intuitive.
Sometimes you need that quick sense of which way is
Yeah.
the right way.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So let's say you're coming out
Every
of the subway,
time.
getting out of a cab, you can just glance down at your feet. We have it set up to translate from Russian to English. I think I get to wear the glasses and you speak to me if you don't mind.
I can speak Russian. Привет, друг, как у тебя дела?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Tempted to swear, tempted to say inappropriate things. А ты сразу мой голос слышишь или подождать надо?
I see it transcribed in real time. And so obviously, based on the different languages and the sequence of subjects and verbs, there's a slight delay sometimes, but it's really just like subtitles for the real world.
Cool.
Thank you for this. All right, back to me. Hopefully, watching videos of me having my mind blown like the apes in 2001 Space Odyssey playing with a monolith was somewhat interesting. Like I said, I was very impressed. And now I thought if it's okay, I could make a few additional comments about the episode and just in general. In this conversation with Sundar Pichai, I discussed the concept of the Neolithic package, which is the set of innovations that came along with the first agricultural revolution about 12,000 years ago, which included the formation of social hierarchies, the early primitive forms of government, labor specialization, domestication of plants and animals, early forms of trade, large scale cooperations of humans, like that required to build, yes, the pyramids and temples, like Göbekli Tepe. I think this may be the right way to actually talk about the inventions that changed human history, not just as a single invention, but as a kind of network of innovations and transformations that came along with it. And the productivity multiplier framework that I mentioned in the episode, I think is a nice way to try to concretize the impact of each of these inventions under consideration. And we have to remember that each node in the network of the sort of fast follow on inventions is in itself a productivity multiplier. Some are additive, some are multiplicative. So, in some sense, the size of the network in the package is the thing that matters when you're trying to rank the impact of inventions on human history. The easy picks for the period of biggest transformation, at least in sort of modern day discourse, is the Industrial Revolution, or even in the 20th century, the computer or the internet. I think it's because it's easiest to intuit for modern day humans, the impact, the exponential impact of those technologies. But recently, and I suppose this changes week to week, but I have been doing a lot of reading on ancient human history. So recently, my pick for the number one invention would have to be the first agricultural revolution, the Neolithic package that led to the formation of human civilizations. That's what enabled the scaling of the collective intelligence machine of humanity. And for us to become the early bootloader for the next 10,000 years of technological progress, which, yes, includes AI and the tech that builds on top of AI. And of course, it could be argued that the word invention doesn't properly apply to the agricultural revolution. I think actually Yuval Noah Harari argues that it wasn't the humans who were the inventors, but a handful of plant species, namely wheat, rice, and potatoes. This is strictly a fair perspective, but I'm having fun, like I said, with this discussion. Here, I just think of the entire Earth as a system that continuously transforms, and I'm using the term invention in that context, asking the question of when was the biggest leap on the log scale plot of human progress? Will AI, AGI,
Yeah, flush right at open. Go ahead, Monty, if you have anything else. I'm done.
Yeah, I was just going to talk briefly about Micron. I mean, look, I read that through. It's first of all solid results, very good guidance. Again, assuming that the story holds and the market holds, they are cheap right now. I'll just say it. They are cheap right now. They could make somewhere between $8 and $12 in the next 12 months. At $8, it's below 20 forward P. At $12, it's below 10 forward P or 12 forward P, right? Not below 10. Sorry, that makes it half the price, half the multiple of S&P. It is cheap right here, assuming that the AI thesis holds. I really like Micron. Uh, Having said that, it's run up a lot into the earnings, so just be careful since we are coming into the new earnings season and the close of since we are coming to the close of the quarter. This is time for pre-announcements to start off in about a week or a week and a half time. So just be careful about that. But for a significant time period swing trade, right? Months, not weeks. I really like it, and I'm looking to position, probably by selling puts here. And if the market shows signs that it's going to hold well, then I'll probably start buying calls too with the credit from the puts. So that's my take on Micron, and I'm gonna do that in size, but I'm not gonna rush in. I like that swing trade here because the numbers were very solid, and the balance sheet is really solid at this time.
All right. Yeah, that Micron chart looks good, man.
I didn't disagree with anything Monte was saying. I was gonna let him speak about MU, so I did a lot of research as well. I'm gonna be adding a lot of shares over time, Monte, over the next like 3 months.
Oh, we got 10 minutes
Bigger,
last or something.
bigger believer in Mu upside from here than Oracle upside. I know we talked about it till its death, but
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna stay quiet for the next 30, 40, 50 minutes or so to let you guys trade the open, so then we can talk about other stuff.
sounds good, bro.
Jeffrey, what's good, bro?
Yeah, this is such an interesting market that we're in. So the more money you spend, the more people throw money at you. So Alibaba is upping their spending for AI, and that just gapped up $10. Nobody wanted it at 60. Everybody wants it at 170 because they're spending a ton on AI. Interesting. If you are talking AI, I still think it's a relatively inexpensive AI play. This thing was a $250 stock before, so without concentrating into AI, being more of a direct to consumer play. Now they're more of an AI technology play, greater than ever before. So I think they're trying to look for 30% of their revenues out of AI. Anyways, just interesting markets.
Baidu too as well. Baidu.
The China leader for AI is definitely Alibaba.
Oh, it is.
Their Quinn, I think it's pronounced. A large language model competes with OpenAI and everybody else. Like It's a very undervalued company if you're valuing everybody the way we do.
Would you buy any GDS?
JDS?
GDS or
What is
JDS?
that?
Maybe it's JDS. I missed out. Yeah, JDS probably.
You're talking about JD?
Yeah.
JD, yeah, yeah, it's undervalued compared to the rest of the guys. I mean, that 52-week high was $34, or excuse me, $42. It's at 34. It's got way better margins of PDD. PDD just pumps out cash, dude. But they've got tiny margins. The margins are at JD. Just quick 2 cents. Go ahead. We'll get to the market. UNH had a upgrade this morning. So watch
Yeah,
that.
UNH looks strong. UNH looks strong. If you're late on this, you have the 2x lever UNHG. That's a possibility for you.
I love these things. So they don't have options, right? You just buy the shares.
No, they have options as well.
Shit. Oh God.
One of the listeners just alerted me to a ticker QURE. It's running. It's up 175%. Went from 13
Yeah, so
bucks
Martin Shkreli posted on QUR. He called it a 510 bagger or some nonsense like that.
Oh yeah, it's running right now.
Man, I'm not chasing that.
I ain't chasing anything.
That motherfucker went from 13 to 40 bucks, bro. I promise you I ain't chasing
I
that.
ain't touching nothing Martin touches, bro.
This had amazing data out.
Fuck that.
So
It's Huntington disease, right? So they basically cured 70% or something like that. It's a massive data. Like the data came out.
So you're saying it's a buy, Jeffrey? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't buy it here, dude.
To me, look, here, to me, listen, hold on. To me, something like this isn't even worth mentioning if it's not even an opportunity to get in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, talk to me about this before. Tell me about it before this motherfucker rips or when it had that pullback. Like, don't tell me when it's already starting to push after that.
Up 180.
Listener down below.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, you can't be in these after the pump. You want to be in there pre-data. That's the thing.
True. That's how you're gonna make that.
there's a sympathy play too. I don't know if you guys want to look into it, but it's called CLPT. There's the other one. I'm not in it, but that's the other one that's went up.
I know that too.
Oh yeah, that one got some volume too. It's up 33% pre-market.
Yeah.
These ninjas need to give everything else running but the one that I want to run. Jeffrey, we're gonna make some calls, bro.
You're in VKTX too?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the data's great. The data's absolutely great. It's just if they go on their own, they could drag it out, and it's gonna be very expensive. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that CLPT is better. Like that's more of a one to call out to play. Like you got a chance with this one. The other one, you don't even have a chance.
Yeah, and if you look at CLPT, that chart is.
Yeah, this one gives you a chance.
Yeah, this might give you a chance on the gap fill you can buy.
Yeah, guys, I bought a couple hundred shares at pre-market CLPT.
Hi guys, morning.
Good morning, bro.
Good morning, bro.
Quickly, did you see also QURE?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So because Martin Shkreli says that it's like 5-10x from now.
Dude, they're literally curing like 70% for Huntington's disease. I told you guys that some of these drugs that are coming out are spectacular. Like they're going to be blockbusters. I wouldn't chase it here, but that's just me. Do what you want.
So please don't take this in that manner. But if you get offended, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Plays like QURE, you wasting your time bringing that here right now. Like you bring it to me at $40, it's up 200%, and there isn't even a chance to get in it. Like why would I even consider that? Like I can't do anything with that. Like that's it's gone.
Yeah, you can. You can roll up, smoke a L, and move on.
Listen, if you really wanted to play this, you could jump in, put a stop down. I'm not gonna do it. But
All right, what you?
So that's your recommendation. That's your
I'm not sure.
recommendation.
put a
Big
stop.
Tim, I'm not
So
sure.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I wasn't saying that for people to be apologists on this. Just don't bring shit like this when it's already up 200%. That's plain and simple.
No,
Because
Big Tim.
nobody's gonna chase it.
Yeah, but sometimes
2-minute warning.
very quickly, ABVX, I don't want to talk about a lot. ABVX, it went from 7 to 60. I asked the day, Jeffrey, can we get below 50? And we could buy it at 50, even you could buy it at 60. It's now 80. So after data, you could get like another $30. But then this one can even go 120 plus. So
Yeah,
if
but
you
when
played from 80 to 120, it's 50%. So yeah,
but
I
if
just
you
said
have
that
if you
so
have
this Martin
a
guy said
viewpoint
that
like that, right?
it is 5x to 10x. So that's it.
If you have a viewpoint like that, you need to state why. You need to state this drug, like this, the market cap of this company is X right now. Uh, the total addressable market of this drug
Yeah.
is Y. My price point is that in 2 to 5 years they could be selling
Exactly.
having revenues like this to garner a price target where you would buy and hold it for like a multi-year swing.
That's exactly what I looked forward to. Amen. I was looking at the TAM on it. It's like a 1 to 3 billion TAM on it, right? When someone mentioned the ticker, I mean, you got to have a thesis behind it if you have to buy it at 38.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Totally agree. The market is about to open, and I couldn't have said it better myself. Amen. Like if you're gonna bring something like this and then try to convince people to get it, give a reason, give a thesis, but just to say, "Ooh, look at this, it's up 200%," bro. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, we could all just get a screener to see what's up. That's it.
For real. And I'm not trying to be rude about it, though. I mean, that's say that with all due respect. So I hope
My
anybody
point.
didn't get offended by
Anyway,
it.
I will drop here. But my point was that the guy who knows better than me, he says that it is 5 to 10x from here. That was just the news. I don't want to say that that I know that I'm not a analyst, but anyway.
Bro, all right, I get it. Like I said, I didn't want this to be an apologist situation. The market's open. Move on.
Somebody mentioned JD. I think the JD is a good long to 41. Raxi had brought that one to my attention yesterday. I was waiting. I was gonna wait a day, but I missed out. But it's on my radar.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab some of those JD calls for November, probably.
Take eyes on BE guys, down 11% today. Bloom Energy. Not sure why. Just brutal. Putting my eyes on it. Down to $68.
Oh yeah, I'm getting the $40 calls for JD for January and November.
And if I see any flow in it today, guys, on JD, I'll call it out as well.
All right, I grabbed those.
Market's looking weak, man. Right up here at resistance, but I don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger yet. But it's definitely getting faded right here at resistance. I'm banking that we're finna go down.
Ticker LAC trying to push up above 534 after the news yesterday.
And the big loading area for me on JD is at 31. But I'm trying to wait until it gets in the 32s, but I'm not sure if I'll get a chance, but that's where I want to buy it. I'll probably end up dipping in today.
It hit 32s yesterday pre-market.
Ticker, legging in the SPY 662 puts, 0 DTEs. I don't think I'm outstaying these unless we clear that high a day, 664.61.
Damn it, didn't get a fill on Oracle. At 305 is waiting.
Ticker Baba 180 calls weeklies filled at 240.
Yeah, this looks weak. Weaker McGee.
NVIDIA dumped.
Drop it lower, drop it to the floor.
Tesla is strong though.
IREN $45 calls in the money, up 10% today, guys. Trimmed October 3rd for 100%. The January 40s are now 200% bagger.
Ooh, LXC pumping. Let's go.
YOLO, you and me, bro. We bought that shit like crazy after hours.
Energy Fuels is also pumping. It's up 10% and pushing up.
Energy Fuels. What ticker's that? FCL or
You.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh, my favorite Soldier Boy.
For you.
Then keep your eyes on SMR and LEU. They're all in the same boat as UUU.
And OKLO.
Ticker JOBY. 15-minute H pattern showing up right here on the 15-minute for Joby. I have 1620 as our next target down.
Oracle. I grabbed some UNH 360s. Sorry, ticker UNH 360 for today. For Friday.
You didn't have to say ticker. Nobody was talking, bro. The ticker is to get, listen, hold on. Saying ticker is if people are talking and to get people to listen, to stop talking so people can get the ticker in, so people who are actually listening for these call outs can hear it. You don't have to say ticker in a vacuum. And you can though, but if you don't apologize for saying it. Are you serious?
I'm just a polite guy. I thought I heard someone talking, by the way. So that's why I thought there was someone starting to talk.
That's because you got a jungle gym in your house, bro. It's like 100 people over there. Of course you're going to hear someone
I
talking.
can barely hear. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going, guys.
I was beginning to speak at the same time that Jeffrey was, so I backed off. But anyway, I'm going to call out 3D Systems because it's currently up 3.2% at $2.90. That's DDDD or Delta.
Boom.
I grabbed Oracle 295 puts for this week. Ticker CLPT up almost 50% right now. CLPT, Clearpoint, the one that good shout out to YOLO on this ticker.
Did you chase that one?
Hell to the no.
Move up stops on the Baba 180 calls. 280, 15%. Sorry, filled at 3, 20%.
Robinhood, HOOD, Hotel Oscar Delta up 1.2%.
Trimming these Oracle 295 puts up 30%.
Drop it low, girl. We about to hit the flow, girl. Look like the market is headed for linoleum.
Let's fucking go. Sell this bitch.
Look at this drill, boy. Look at this drill, boy.
Yeah.
That look like a
Yeah.
motherfucking DeWalt drill or something, or Milwaukee or something,
Not a Black
Ryobi or
and
some shit
Decker.
like that.
Not a
Nah,
Black.
it's not a Black and Decker. Well, it could be because Black and Decker owns DeWalt.
All right,
Okay.
so you're at the close of yesterday. Let's see what it does.
Move up stops on the AMD 160 calls over 4.30 trimming.
Oh, you've got a nice bear flag on the ES, dude, on the 5.
JD
Just
is
breaking
pumping
down.
right now, guys. JD up almost 4.5%.
Is it over 35?
34.45.
Yeah, it looks good.
Nah, JD doesn't look good till it clears 35. Like, to me, 35 has been its Achilles heel of late. So if it doesn't clear 35, to me, you're chasing your tail.
Look, there's two other names. You guys know how I feel, right? I'd watch Futu to look at what Tiger does. And then there's Kingsoft, which is data centers. And that's KC. That was a $20 stock. It pulled back. That could be something that could be on your board.
Drill, baby, drill.
This is an ugly chart on the ES.
Where's the Armageddon crew when you need them?
Oh, you gonna have it when I'm MIA, bro. I got you.
I mean, this could ES wants 6,700, and then we'll see what happens there. That's what it looks like to me. It's
So
like a rising wedge or a bear flag, and it's broke down from that. Go ahead, Kev.
So AJ, you're saying like when you leave, it's gonna drill. I mean, I'm not sure what to take
Yeah.
from what you said.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying. But just a theory. Move up stops and the got stopped out of my bubble calls it 280 profits. I'm out.
Oh, Oracle's below 305. Someone wants to take it.
VNet. I know I'm gonna play this one more time. These are leaps. May 15, 2026, $12 calls at 2.6 VNET.
Oh, you jumping on board with me, boy?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I got a common position at $9, and I'm also in. What else do I got?
I'm following this flow that just hit, boy. 200K.
Oh no, that's all I got is just the common position.
Go, dude. It's so cheap.
What did you got? What is that one?
May 15, 2026, $12 calls for 2.6. 270 now. Cheap.
Ticker got Rocket Lab 52C 87 cents each for Friday.
I just followed Flow, Kev. 200K on it this morning.
Now, what was the strike again? I'm
12,
sorry.
12C for May.
All right, thank you. You said for May or March?
May.
Yeah, my hearing is bad. Sorry.
You're good. May, $12 calls.
Walmart this morning is out getting a move. It's up 0.5%, but it looks really bullish. It's got a little bit of a bump up, and now it's starting to flag. 103.07 is the price, up 0.5%. WMT, Whiskey Mike Tango.
Rig was up 11% the other day. It's up almost 5% today. 371.
Ticker,
The oil services are running.
ticker, Amazon, AMZN, 10-minute double bottom. Getting a bounce here at AMZN, Amazon.
I believe Amazon got an upgrade this morning too.
Also getting a bounce here on Joby, JOBY 10 minute. Looks like it's finding a bottom here. The bottom on Joby. Everything is getting a bounce, it looks like.
Yeah.
Except
Bro,
Oracle.
look at
Ticker,
SLNA.
ticker. IREN. I'm taking my October and January profits to the $60 calls for March. IREN.
Yeah, SLNH is getting some volume.
You say everything bouncing. I'm looking at the market. Just look like it ain't bouncing. It's drilling.
Yeah, the overall market is down, but if you look at the underlying plays, the ones, if you know, some of them are actually doing pretty good.
I mean, they could push the market up. Who knows?
Please look at Intel, guys. Up 4% straight up. Huge candle on the 15. It's just a straight green candle. There's got to be news coming out on Intel.
Ticker, BA. I'm gonna trim these 230 calls for October 17th, up 61%, $127 a contract.
This is a news.
I mean, the Russell looks strong, Dow looks strong, but Apple is super weak. Intel is super magoo right now, full bull Intel. But look at Google. Google is full bear. Meta's undecided. Nvidia look like it's ready to drill, tried to drill. Adobe is drilling. I mean, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty mixed.
Who was saying Amazon was up? Amazon looked like it's in drill team 6.
I
Does it look like
said Amazon is getting a 10 on the 10 minute is getting a bounce here. I don't know who said it was up, not me.
Does it look like big tech rotation?
I don't know. It looks divided. It looks split up though. Like, okay, it's like I say, I'm looking at Tesla pushing. I'm looking at Intel pushing. AMD's trying to push. The Dow Jones is up. Then as I look everywhere else, you know, Apple's drilling, Nvidia drilled, but it's trying to, you know, bounce back. Google in full bear mode, Adobe in bear mode, Meta is about to be in bear mode. So I mean, it's kind of split up. Amazon bear, Broadcom bear, Oracle full bear. So it's split up. UNH had a nice push and pulled all the way back, so UNH might be in bear mode pretty soon. Palantir's looking undecided, confused as fuck.
That's my baby, bro. PLTR.
Ticker. Lithium Americas Corporation, LAC. That's Lima Alpha Charlie. I've got flows at the October 17th, 5.5 call, 7.5 call, November 21st, 5.5 call. It's kind of all over the map on this. They're buying it hard. They're buying the calls.
Let's go. Silences.
Ticker. LMT, Lockheed Martin, up 1.11%. 1 minute on the 1 hour chart. That's 3 white soldiers.
So I posted something about the Ukraine war, basically escalating. Defense stocks are up.
So these LMT, I'm just gonna move my stop up on these LMT 510 calls for January 2026. I'm up 45% on those.
Ticker, Marvell, $87 calls.
Bro, I promise you I'm buying Marvell right now. I promise. That's crazy.
Yo.
All right, 1017, $87 calls filled at buck 70. Also 1031, $80 calls at 480.
I was about to say, I just bought the 80s, bro. It's crazy that you said that. That's insane.
What did you see, Kevin? Because he looks at flow. What did you look at? What did you see? Just the
Well, I
chart?
got the news up top. You know, they authorized a $5 billion stock buyback, the launch of $1 billion accelerated share repurchase plan. They still got $2 billion left under the prior program. It's all up top, bro. Like, I just missed it because I was trying to close out other positions and watch my spot position. So
yeah, no.
I was on top of this early.
Yeah, cool. I just curious what you saw.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys see any bullish flow on LMT by any chance? Look at the daily chart. That looks so bullish, man.
Someone just said that. I thought. I don't know about flow.
Yeah, that's what Bull Bear just talked about Lockheed Martin.
Quick ticker, ORCL. These 295 puts for this week, up 54%, $85 a contract. Trimming.
Nice. Jeffrey, what I saw was a hold of the 5 on the daily. That's what got my attention. Then they had the news. We were talking about Marvell earlier last week, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, somebody asked about Marvell last week, and I don't
I
remember.
think I
I
was
talked
yesterday
about
with.
it last week.
I think I asked about it yesterday to Monative, if I could remember, but I was just like, why is
We
this
all
one
talked about.
underperforming? Yeah, it was me
Yeah,
underperforming.
that was you. You're right.
Yeah,
That was you.
yeah.
You're right. So I'm saying
Yep.
we talked about it. Like, what did you see, bro? You saw it.
I'm seeing a chart right now where it's been basing for a long time, and it could possibly break out here, but it still hasn't yet. So I'm not going to take it.
I think it's about to though.
Yeah, you guys are probably right. That's why I'm asking. Like, what did you guys
But
see?
but we spoke about this 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, 60s.
and we got into the Marvel $7 calls
Yeah.
for 1017. These are up 361%.
Oh, fucking
Marvel
nice.
$70 calls.
Okay, well there you
Yeah,
go.
Big Kevin and I were talking about this at 65 on that earnings dump.
Yeah, we talked
Those are,
about this. That's what
those are
I'm trying
good
to tell you guys.
time.
All right, fair enough. Maybe I was.
Ticker. Oxy, OXY, $50 calls October 24th, 70 cents a pop.
Yeah, if Hims goes back under $50, I'm slapping the shit out of Hims. I'm getting a sell signal on Hims 1 hour chart right now. Oh, it's selling hard on the 10 minute too. A 53.45 on Hims. Next level down.
Whew.
Jeffrey, look at
It's
Hims, Jeffrey.
yeah, it's drilling. That chart is drilling.
I know Jeffrey likes to hear that.
I'm out of my him short. I got out at 40. In at 65, out at 40. The fucking I thought the premium would move more. Like, it was weird. I don't know.
I just bought the Raytheon RTX Romeo Tango X-Ray 21 November 165 175 call spread. I paid 335 for it.
I bought some 60 calls Rocket Lab for January.
Kevin, looks like we're still pushing down here on ES.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at some SPX contracts right now to add to these spies.
Yo, Rocket Lab had a news today. Did they have something like why is selling off? I don't know.
No news at all. I don't see any news. Could be that failed breakout, but
Yeah, it is. It looks like I flagged and broke down.
I got some 60 calls. So I paid like $6.50 each for January.
I might do that too.
They have a really big like narrative going on in October and until end of the year for launches. So I think it's a pullback, like retest buy maybe.
Yeah, it's a good time to buy. I think we need to add full.
So quickly, guys, Windows 10 end of support is October 10th. So Micron called it out yesterday. There will be a refresh cycle. I don't know how hot it'll be, but there's certainly going to be massive upgrades that's forced on corporates. So Marvel will get a piece of that. Certainly.
Oh, we drilling, bro. I couldn't even get these contracts fast enough. We drilling. Look at this drill, bro.
Yeah, I
Yo,
mean,
Big,
sorry,
can you hear
Monative.
Monative? Hold on. Big, can you hear Monative?
I can, but the market is drilling, bro. I'm jumping in to let people know that the market is drilling. If you in some contracts, like you should be up. I hear Monitor talking, but the market trumps all that.
Okay.
And I stopped, Kev, as soon as I heard you.
No, I understand that, but I'm explaining the bull bear because you understand, but I guess he didn't. So I mean, with all due respect, bro, the market trumps everything.
I was just asking because normally you said just do the ticker, and I didn't do it. That's why I was asking if you could hear him. If it was a audio issue, it was nothing else.
Anyways, it is drilling.
Tesla is pumping.
We're gonna be here at support. Yesterday's support. Let's see if we test that.
And I do apologize for the no ticker ticker. I was just excited. My contracts were up 150%. I was just jumping in. I do apologize. No disrespect intended.
No. You're good, bro. I was just wondering if it was an audio issue. That's all.
Nope, no audio issue at all. I was rude. I do apologize.
No worries.
Tesla is breaking out.
Jeffrey.
Yep.
Please, can you please
Mute
mute?
yourself, Jeffrey.
Thanks, bro. Let me mute myself.
I think Tesla is heading to 440.
Oh, Big Kev, look at this fucking JD, bro. It's gonna hit 35. It's gonna retest that higher day.
I need to see it clear it though, like the decisive clearance. I've traded JD and got stuck at 35 multiple times. I mean,
Yeah, Kev, I played those 40 Cs January so many times off of 33, 35.
yeah, you feel my pain.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm gonna listen to you guys then and start trimming these 40s. Wait, I'm gonna wait and see because it's getting some nice volume here. Just move the stop up on these.
Oh, and here's my thing. I couldn't get, so I had to go back to my spy contracts, and I'm up 150%. So I do, like, once again, I apologize. It was just I was excited.
Nah, bro, you're good, man. I'm not even mad about it, bro. You're good. We're all good, dog.
I'm mad I couldn't get the fucking field, bro. Like, I was like, shit. Okay, so no, look, here's the mistake that I almost made. So I was looking for the 6645s. I look at the 6545s, and I'm like, man, why are these things $30? Like, why are they $40? Like, this got to be a mistake. Let me go ahead and buy like a whole bunch of these motherfuckers. And I was like, hold on. I'm like, hold on, no, that's a mistake. So that's what it was. If I had went to the 6645s instead of the 6545s, I'd have got to buy. And by the time I got to the 6545s, it was just drilling. I couldn't even get my order in.
That's not it. Moving. So the SPX, man, you gotta catch it. If you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it. You procrastinate and then you look, it's gone. Oh, ticker.
Well, the ideal way to
ticker FIG real quick. It's down 5%. Fig and drilling.
Yep, I haven't bought it. I'm waiting for some kind of consolidation. Also, Tempest is coming up on 21 EMA on the daily at like 81.55, and it's bounced off there many times. Just keep an eye on that.
I'm waiting for Fig to get a 30s before I buy. Hopefully it gets there.
Look at this CLPT, guys. Up 51%. CLPT 52. It's going to 20. Did you chase that, Big Kev?
CLPT? Nope.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I only chase things that I kind of got some kind of knowledge about, that I've kind of done the research and I'm confident in the move. Like, I don't know shit about neither one of those tickers. And nobody's been forthcoming with trying to give any explanation before the fact. Everything was after the fact, right as the market was open. So I don't remember anything anybody said.
LAC high of the day, guys, is freaking ripping, and I'm seeing many calls coming in as well for LAC. So there's a $17.50 calls for almost 4 million.
Whoa.
5 million, 2.6 million for January 2026 $5 calls. Ooh, my entry from 5, I'm gonna hold this thing.
I have it too, man. I'm gonna just leave it. I hope this goes like Oklo.
It's gonna do like MP. That's what I'm expecting. And
just leave it. Just don't bother, right? I mean, you got it at the 5s.
I
Just
got
leave it there.
shares, and this is my second time playing it from yesterday. So I'm just gonna basically.
Yeah, my average is 520 yellow. I'm chilling.
I'm not gonna sell this for until next year or so. Just gonna ride it.
Ticker LASR on a 15-minute. I have a double bottom here. I grabbed the $40 calls for March of next year. I like the risk to reward to the upside that H played out. I like LASR back to the upside.
And Citigroup 110 calls are green again. I had a pretty bad day yesterday in that reversal, but ladies and gentlemen, we're once again green on those cons. If you want to take some profits at 260.
Ticker JD 1 hour. Getting a buy signal on the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, 5 minute on JD 34.96 up 6%. Yeah, boy. What is this doing? Oh, shit.
Also, hey, look, and I might end up being rude a time again, because look, when people are talking about it, this is no disrespect to you, but when people are talking, if you're not actually telling me about a particular entry or exit or order flow, I got you all the way tuned out. I am not listening because once again, it's still early. The market hasn't even been open 30 minutes, and I'm looking at the charts. I'm really paying attention to the charts. So I do apologize once again because I did hear you talking and I just talked right over you. But it's hard to try to cancel an order, say ticker, tell people what's happening, close an order. Bro, I was doing a whole bunch of shit. Like, I'm not just here in a vacuum saying ticker because I'm looking at something. I was actively doing some shit. So I do apologize once again. There's no excuse. But it is nuanced.
I get you, bro. But I want you to do me a favor. Go look at JD. Over 35, baby. 6.5% on
Yeah,
JD.
top of that W is 36. It's probably gonna hit 36.
Move your stops up or trim your contracts. I don't want anybody texting me bullshit.
Okay, I did grab Tiger, play small, but I don't. $11 calls for 8 to 10 cents. We'll see if they finally fucking push that thing.
There's a lot of flow coming in on JD.
Is Eddie actually looking ready? Want to see this volume pick up?
Yeah, boy, these $40 calls for December are up 37%. And I just grabbed those. Let's go.
Yeah, Eddie looks good.
I needed to get over this 35, 32.
It needs to clear 36. It clears 36. It's wow, blue yonder.
Yeah. What is this? 35.
Man, look at iron, man. Iron is so strong. 40 up 11, 12% today again. Jeez.
I had it upgrade. Someone put a $70 price target on it.
Hmm. Oh, I think with all that data center, oh, maybe. Oh, they're more Bitcoin
That's
computers.
exactly what it is. They have contracted power. That's all it is. They have contracted power, which everybody is desperate for. So they probably get a deal. Whatever they ask for that power, they're gonna get. So that's all it is. Every one of these Bitcoin miner turned GPU reseller is gonna make a killing.
Hmm. The APLD is another one. It got a pull back today, so it might be an area to buy that one. Oh.
There are
That
other
Wolf, WULF, all of these guys are
CLSK.
gonna run for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
CLSK as well.
CLSK had a big management change, man. That could run actually. Right? They fired the CEO and put in a new guy now. Oh man, that's already $14. What the heck?
I'm betting on the smallest one out of all of them is SLNH. My average there from 220. They're supposed to be
SLNH?
Yep.
SLNH?
Yeah, it's like 100 million market cap right now, and they got the funding to build out. They already have a bunch of other stuff built out as well, so
Oh, I'm buying
it's
it
following
there.
the same footsteps as Iron,
Okay.
but it's risky. Just keep in mind.
Hey,
What is not risky? Everything is risky in life, buddy.
shout out to Joker who just mentioned this because there was some data that I'm just looking at right now that came out. New home sales came in plus 20.5% month over month, best month since August 2022. They're expected negative 0.3. We got 20.1.
Okay, so rate cuts, the 10-year going under the 4% is good for real estate. So if it continues to go down, you're going to have that activity in real estate and everything that comes along with it if they continue to cut rates, which could spur the economy big time. Like we could be in Goldilocks. We'll see what happens.
Well, is anything pumping with that news? I mean, is there maybe home builders?
Rockets up 1%. Nails kind of turn, maybe bottoming here.
Lennar catching a bid, LEN, Lima Echo November.
Okay. Yeah, Lennar is pumping. Yeah, Lennar was the one to buy, man. It's pushing out.
Looking like the general market getting a bit of a bounce on that as well.
JD just
See if it's
bought
sustainable.
35, man. Piece of shit. Every time it gets here at 35.50. My bad, Kev. Every time it gets here, it rejects. JD.
Yeah, I just trimmed the JD calls.
October 17th, $7.50 calls for LAC. Almost 700 premium. So they're
There's
keep
a
buying
nice
these calls.
100K flow for HUT, 34 calls for this week.
I'm sorry, for what ticker, Monative?
HUT.
HUT. Oh, these are all these data.
We're talking about miners, right? So I see flow for iron coming still.
Yeah, so Monetative, that's $36 calls for January 2026 on